Hey, I'm Duke on Twitch. If you want to support the channel and greensunzenith.com, you can find my Patreon, merch store, and singles store, where you can buy singles through TCG Player or Card Hoarder, in the video description. If you want to get in contact, you can also find all that info in the description below for things like donation deck lists or just wanting to reach out. Alright, let's get right into it.
Yo, hey team, welcome back to Dukes on Twitch. Back today with Abzan Maverick, with a twist. I really wanted to speed things up. I feel like a lot of the time against combo these days, I do feel like we're just a turn behind, and potentially the answer to that is just getting things down a turn earlier. I put a few things through a bit of a brainstorm in Mox Diamond, Lotus Petal, Elvish Spirit Guide. Spirit Guide I really like because unlike Lotus Petal, you can play around days without your opponent knowing you actually have the mana. Mox Diamond was interesting because we are a lands deck. We could go up on lands and then be able to recoup on the card disadvantage through things like Sylvan Library or Ramming Up Excavator or Renegade Rallier. But I didn't like that Lotus Petal and Lotus Petal and Mox Diamond were turned off by Collector Ouphe, which was potentially, against a lot of these Grim Monolith decks, the best turn 1 2-drop. So because of that, I think Spirit Guide is pretty cool. The other benefit of Spirit Guide is that with Once Upon a Time, you can either find Spirit Guide to play a 2-drop on turn 1, or you can find the 2-drop you need, like a Thalia or a Bowmaster potentially. So I did cut Once Upon a Time to make room for some stuff, but then I really liked how Once Upon a Time actually kind of found two of the pieces we wanted: mana acceleration or something to actually accelerate into. Sheltered by Ghosts is a pretty powerful card. So this is 2 mana and it kind of has 4 things going for it. When it comes into play, exile target non-land permanent and opponent controls, so any CMC and any type other than land, which is pretty significant. Planeswalkers, creatures, the One Ring, Blood Moon, you name it. Sheltered by Ghost is going to hit it. So that's part 1. Until it leaves the battlefield. So when the creature is gone, they get the thing back. Enchanted Grid gets +1/+0 as well, and lifelink. There's your 3 things, and ward 2. So potentially, I was going to say this could replace Mother Runes in some ways, but I think that it's kind of nice that you could play a Mum, you then play a 2-drop, or you play a Mum into Sheltered by Ghosts, and if they try to bolt it, then you can of course give it protection. But I think Sheltered by Ghosts is very cool, and I'm not the only one, because big fan of the channel and a huge Maverick themselves, Vinny, did come up with a trophy list that played 4 Sheltered by Ghosts and 4 Mother Runes. So essentially play your Mum, get it online, potentially get another creature down, and then Sheltered by Ghosts just allows you to really control some of the board, protect the creature that of course you have attached the Sheltered by Ghosts to, and go from there. So I think Sheltered by Ghosts is pretty sweet. It's kind of in the slot where you might see something like a Abrupt Decay, but we'll see how that goes. Other than that, the Sylvan Library is there to kind of allow us to get back some of the card disadvantage potentially from the Elvish Spirit Guide. I have played a Scythecat Cub as well, which is a new card, which let's get, actually I'll just say what it is. 2 mana for a trample 2/2. Pretty sweet. Landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. If this is the second time this ability has resolved this turn, such as a fetch land getting a Savannah, double the number of +1/+1 counters on that creature instead. So it's pretty cool because it goes 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 14. If you're targeting the same creature, which is obviously pretty great. If you're targeting different creatures, it's still a great way to get things out of Orcish Bowmaster range, at a bolt range, etc. So we'll see how that goes. I did not play the showcase. No, I haven't been playing too much Magic, and I don't typically play long tournaments online. I'm not a big fan of just sitting in front of the computer and kind of just being, here for 6 hours. So I did not play the challenge. But a huge congratulations to Newton, who came out on top. I believe they drew the finals, but they went undefeated the whole way through with, of course, Cradle Control. So a huge congratulations to Newton. I think that's just a really good case of knowing your deck can lead to some really good results. And obviously Newton is just an incredible Magic player. So big shout out to Newt and all the work that he has put into the Cradle Control narrative and deck over the years. I very much would push his Patreon and his content, because I think a lot of it does also come across to Maverick and creature decks in general and Legacy in general. So if you want to get better, then Newton is someone that I would definitely actively go about, reading their content and watching them online as well. They're also on YouTube, on Twitch. So the sideboard here, you can see it's pretty... Actually, let's just... One more thing. Because of the Spirit Guides, I'm only running one of each Mana Dork in Ignobled and Noble, and of course Dryad Arbor. I didn't go for Birds of Paradise just because I don't like that it can't really do anything on its own other than just create mana. Still, it does, it does create all 5 colors, which is a pretty big advantage over these two, but I just really admire Exalted. And Sylvan Safekeeper, I did want a way to protect things like Collector Ouphe and Gaddock Teeg against decks that can potentially auto-wire it or Karakas it, and Sylvan Safekeeper is just the best way to do that, especially with Green Sun Zenith. You have 5 copies. The sideboard I'm not too sure about, but I really wanted to have either turn 1 or 0 mana plays against combo. And then we do just have a Snuff Out, which I wanted to try out because I do like that it's a removal spell. It could be Dismember. I was thinking about Dismember, but I'm going to go with my gut of Snuff Out. Obviously, Dismember quite good against things like Magus the Moon, Opposition Agent, Orcish Bowmasters, Troll. I'm kind of talking myself into playing Dismember. As much as I like the free effect, I don't think we have the luxury of playing the Snuff Out. So we'll go with Dismember in the sideboard. Containment Priest I actually really like. Obviously great against Oops. It's also quite good against Sneak and Show, Cradle Control, and Natural Order decks. So I'm keen to see how that goes. Similar vein to Gaddock Teeg, where of course Teeg does turn off your own Green Sun Zenith. But against the decks where you want it in play, it's probably doing a lot more for you shutting down things on your opponent's side than just shutting off your own Green Suns. So not too bad about that. Thoughtseize, my original thought was Thoughtseize in the sideboard over the Elvish Spirit Guides, and then a much more traditional build with just main deck Thoughtseize. But I do want to try out the Spirit Guide approach, see how it plays out. And obviously sideboard we have Deafening Silence and Thoughtseize as turn 1 plays against combo, which is really nice. Leyline, just because it shuts down the graveyard straight away. I did think about Surgical, especially when it's coupled with Thoughtseize. You're able to take some namesake decks off their main win con, things like Show and Tell, having to then rely on Sneak and Show, or of course Doomsday. Taking out that is pretty huge. So I've just gone with Leyline because it's not always that you have both Thoughtseize and Surgical, and you're not a deck with Ponders and Brainstorms to try to put that together. So that's pretty much it. 2 Knights, obviously great with the Cub, but I didn't want to go too far down that line. And I think we have a lot of ways to win through our smaller creatures, that just having the 2 Knights there is still a nice way to win some matches. All right, we're playing a Legacy League with play points, playing Abzan 1.1. Welcome all. Gameplay. I hope you're all doing well. I would love to finish 3-2. I would love to play against 3 combo decks, 2 creature decks. We'll see what happens. But yeah, potentially you might see Elvish Spirit Guide and obviously combo decks. Green Black Turbo Depths is a pretty much a home for Elvish Spirit Guide, and that's typically because it's really nice, of course, in terms of being able to crop rotation without having to hold up your green. But being able to, pretty sweet hand, a lot of 2-drops, being able to get the mana before the card disadvantage really comes into effect is really nice. So we're going to keep this. A lot of really nice 2-drops. Past, a huge thank you for the sub. That brings me up to 11 in my goal. Hope you're doing well. I very much appreciate your support. I hope you enjoy this league as much as I hopefully will. All right. I have no idea what we're up against. Hopefully nothing too fast, but if we get a turn, we have a lot of different plays, which is nice. Hey, Elston, welcome. Welcome back, I should say. DRC, okay. Bauble 2. I think here I'm pretty happy to get the Surveil land, but at the same time I don't necessarily need to. There's nothing that I would say I would put automatically into the bin, because against Delver, I'm still happy to see everything bar probably Collector Ouphe. So I'm pretty happy to untap here. Obviously a Spirit Guide off the top would be great. That would allow us to play any of these 2-drops into a Daze. And there we have it. So let's see. I'm going to go for Savannah into Bayou. Wow, nothing. Okay. Nice. Didn't expect that to just resolve, but at the same time, I'm actually quite happy that I did that, because even without the Spirit Guide I would have, and I'm very much about just run things into Daze. Don't be afraid of it, just do what you can. I haven't played the Brewmaster pile yet, but I do want to for sure. Okay, we have some options here. I'm going to throw out a Thalia without playing a land, because I'd love to trade for a Daze here with the Spirit Guide. They're actually going to force this, wow. Which makes me think that they don't have a Daze, or of course we would have seen it. So now what we can do is play a land, fetch up another Savannah. No, let's go Scrubland, Spirit Guide, play Thalia. Why would they force first and then Daze? Ah, they knew about the guy with the bauble? Ah, that's why. I should have checked. I should definitely have checked. For a second, I thought they might have been watching the stream, but it does, yes. I would say it is the bauble. Because... No, but we didn't fetch. That's right. There we go. There we go. Thankfully, Sheltered by Ghosts here is going to be pretty sweet on the Murktide. I could even play the Teeg first, but that does open me up to Daze. Like if the last 2 cards are forced blue card. They haven't pondered, so it's Ponder and a card. I think I would rather just go for Sheltered. Nice. Okay. I don't think I want to play the Teeg here. I think I'd rather hold the Spirit Guide in case I can Endurance around days, Green Suns for 4. That's pretty nice. We're going to play out this first. Ooh, they could have Brazen Borrower. Snapcaster Mage. Interesting. I didn't see that happening. Okay. Pretty happy just to... Maybe I'm actually happier to play the Teeg here just to try to keep the race going. One top, one bottom. There's Ponder. Okay. That is a way for them to grow the Murktide. So really need to find a Endurance here or a Swords. Okay. Interesting. Really, like the two main decks, Soul Guide Lanterns, Snapcaster Mage. I feel like this play is played against a bunch of decks online that it's not too happy to play against, and so I've added some of these cards. Yeah, opponent really doesn't want to lose to a Reanimate. That's very true. Okay, doing this now to play around a Orcish Bowmaster off the top. So we get to attack. And then play Spirit Guide so that it's semi-lethal because we have they have to have Bolt, which they haven't had yet. So the chances of having a Bolt here are pretty high. Nice. The Snapcaster Mage there was really strong. Really good way to interact with me. We don't want the Collector Ouphe. That's a pretty easy cut. The Teeg isn't great. Like the Liberator isn't great. But there aren't too many things. I don't want to bring in ley lines, I don't think. Dismember for sure. Thoughtseize is interesting. Like maybe Thoughtseize is better than some of these. Like Teeg and Liberator. Leyline can shut off Murktide, but it doesn't do too much else. I don't want to have it as a dead card, unfortunately. Hey, Lucky, a huge thank you. Thankfully, yeah, not too impacted by the cyclone. It was reduced to a tropical storm over Brisbane. There are some parts that are really flooded, which is really sad, but we are high and dry, so have nothing really to complain about. But yeah, definitely a lot more ruthless than I thought it would be. I might. It's always funny because like one card that I do try to think of out of the board from Delver is Grafdigger's Cage. But obviously if you're playing Liberator post board, you can't Green Suns for it because Grafdigger's Cage stops it. So you need to naturally draw it. So it's pretty tough. And Sheltered by Ghosts is a really nice, similar to Prismatic Ending effect where it just deals with anything in your way typically. I think we're just going to slide with this and see how this passes up. Okay, pretty happy to keep this with a turn 1 Green Suns for Dryad Arbor off a Savannah. Opponent goes to 6. Okay. Bowmaster. I think here the Wasteland's more important for us as mana source number 3. Than Wastelanding them. Not the worst, but obviously still a pretty tough position. A parade. Yeah. No land from them, which is pretty huge. Okay. In that case, I don't mind trying to get my mana online. I could do an aggressive-ish endurance off the Spirit Guide, but I didn't want to play into the days here. So they do have a Murktide, I believe. Which kind of makes me want to endurance now, just to, because I can't really beat a Murktide here anyway, so I might as well try to play around it. And they did nothing. Okay, so I feel like they did have the endurance. I feel like they went to main phase 1 and then they just didn't. They wanted to attack first. They're going to petty theft this. I'm pretty happy to Bowmaster this. don't want to wasteland them just yet. I still feel this 1 mana is more important to us, especially next turn if we can double spell. Okay. Nice. So I do want to run into Snapcaster Mage again. So I will in fact just attack with Exalted with the token instead of both. And then happy to get rid of one of these in my attack step. There's the Snapcaster. Exactly why we played this first. All right, the race is on. Okay. I think it's just Safekeeper here. Yeah. Which still is something. They have a Brazen Borrower. Okay, so 0 cards, Brazen Borrower in exile. Interesting. Creature land artifacts, like an instant, obviously puts the DRC in the bin. I'm pretty happy just to take this. Delta. Nice. So let's attack for 3 here. This can only block creatures with flying. Fetch up the Scrubland. Looks like I'm having a little bit of lag issues. Hey Dom, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Play Thalia. Interesting, probably me, yeah. I think it's only endurance that gets me out of this. Yeah. Tough. That's fair, that's fair. I appreciate you using some of your lunchtime to watch. I think that's a really good showing of Delver just going after your mana. Just not allowing you to... making you stumble. But the Spirit Guides are pretty cool there. I don't mind them, they're definitely better. But I think that my lack of extra removal in the sideboard definitely shows in this matchup. Really relying on Swords to Plowshares. Somewhat they're sheltered, but Delver also has a great way to get rid of your creatures in response, so... Alright, Grubs. Okay, pretty classic hand. Really nice to have mana acceleration through Green Suns, and then another one to find a threat, removal, interaction. Reclaimer, interesting. I do want to get rid of that. I should have probably let on the Scrubland because I don't want to lose the Savannah here. Yeah, so a little bit of a rush there where we should have played Scrubland, Swords. If they Wasteland us, next turn we can Savannah into Green Suns, which is a pretty great play if they have just Wastelanded us. Okay. Nice. Cub's pretty sweet. I mean, this is as well. I do like obviously getting rid of this, but also accelerating. More than wastelanding them. Just because next time we do have Grist if we need that. So if they play like land into another Reliquary. Echoing Deeps just as a land. Okay, of course you can copy out Windswept Heath. Very cool. And just a pass. Interesting. Huh. Well, I definitely don't mind Grist. Hey, FGC, welcome. Hope you're doing well. There goes Spirit Guide. So opponent now knows what's up. I didn't want to Wasteland there as well because of crop rotation. I think I need to be a little bit more strategic with the Wasteland when facing open green mana. But really nice to have this down because now we can hopefully trade with something. Another Wasteland's pretty great. I don't want to attack into a endurance, so I'm pretty happy just to hold back here. I don't think the little 1 damage in is going to add up. So I could think about eating something here just to go to 20, but that doesn't do a whole lot. But there is a world where we draw swords and we want to sword our own creature. No. The other thought is holding up this just to think about, do we hold up Swords to Plowshares, like a third one? I'm pretty happy with leaving the creature. Let me have a good think. No, I am going to eat this because I don't really want the Spirit Guide to come back into my deck, especially if we want to endurance ourselves, get these swords back. Interesting. No Lush Portico. So really wanting that basic. Okay. Go and fetch. I guess they could be keeping Lush in the deck to fine with flag zones. Or potentially found that they don't like the tapped mana of Lush. Knight's going to be fine. They probably have crop rotation for Sajiri Step, which isn't the worst. quick look at what Green Suns can get us. Not a whole lot that's relevant here. Renegade Rallier is kind of cool. I think we'll start with making sure that they have the crop rotation. Oh, okay. That's not too bad. Like, using that right away is quite nice because it actually doesn't get to do anything here. Now we do have access to Wasteland if we would like to. Let's have a good think. I don't really want to Endurance them because then they get back a sword and a quick reflexes and the Echoing Deeps, which is kind of cool. Sorry, team. I think it's going to be Wasteland the Dark Depths just to get it off the field and then play the Knight. I was thinking of Green Suns for Sylvan Safekeeper as well. We're definitely playing the Knight. And then I think we are just taking this out right now. I don't really care about it though if we have Karakas, so maybe it actually is just a Safekeeper play. Hey Ramar, welcome. Hope you're well. Where we do get hit is Green Sun Zenith for Sylvan Safekeeper, and then they have the mana for Dark Depths right now. That's one thing to consider. Like, probably best case is them Sajiri stepping through to kill the Grist. But yeah, I think last time we should have thought a little bit more about how Green Suns plus Knight does affect this board. It's just a big thing. I feel like we're in a winning position, and it's a case of what loses us the game. And it's most likely 2 mana Green Suns for Sylvan Safekeeper. Make the Marit Lage right now. You can't interact with Wasteland. Thanks, Tom. Have a great day. I mean, we are at 23. So we aren't dead just yet. I think... So I'm going to play around Wasteland here. I can take the 20, go to 3, and then if they play a Wasteland, that of course deals with the Karakas. So I want to get the Karakas in our end step. All right. Get rid of the Dryad Arbor. Go and get Karakas. Hit this. They're going to crop rotate for maybe Talon. Sure. Take out the Dryad Arbor. Oh, they're going to Talon for green into another crop. Probably for Wasteland. We talked about this as well. Sadly, nothing I can do. Yeah, I think I should have gone with my gut and taken out the Dark Depths when they were tapped out. That was on me. Thalia isn't great, especially when they have their own Karakas. Happy to bring in the Thought Seizers. Dismember. Okay. Pretty happy with this. Especially if we can sword into Sylvan Library. Gonna go Scrubland here into Savannah. Okay. I don't really need the Bowmaster just here, so I will pay for this. Go for Bayou. Play an Ooze. Dismember this. Sorry, Dismember's a tough one. I mean, next turn if they play a Knight, we get to Wasteland them, eat something, and Sheltered. There it is. Ooh. What do I want to do here? I do want to shelter. Is it too... It is pretty greedy. But I do love it. We do love a Thoughtseize here. We do love a Thoughtseize. Yeah, Sheltered by Ghost seems really cool, especially because it isn't just creatures. I've played a little bit of Standard. Oof, okay. If we take the Endurance, then I kind of want to keep the Sheltered for the Maze. Or the Wasteland, sorry. Which means I could have actually held up a green. That's on me. That's my bad. I apologize for that. That's really bad. There's also a world where I just don't even play the Wasteland because there's something that I really need to hit. I mean, Thoughtseize here is perfect because I don't want to play into a crop rotation by wastelanding, so I can Thoughtseize first, which means we're probably putting on top, put on top. Okay. Well, then it's probably actually better just to get the knight in play. Oh, it's got ward. They have to pay for it. I guess it's still a thing, but yeah. Opponent's a fan of the channel, which is very cool. Big shout out to Grobs. They are a Spanish player looking to play a tournament in a few weeks, and this list looks really cool. Okay, we can deal with that, thankfully. They play the Deeps probably as a copy of the Windswept. Okay. I can't pay 8, but I can next turn. Again, probably should have tapped differently. We both saw that. Yeah, terrible tapping by me. I apologize. Sorry. We're just going to run it back. Library there really showing how good it is, and also sheltered, of course, but with the life gain allowing you to be more aggressive with the library. The Thought Seizers really gets there. A pretty great hand because we get to really have a good go at what they put into play, what they have in hand, how they can play out their game. I think here I do want to double spell next turn. Talon Gates is pretty sweet. I did think about it in this list. I just didn't play it because I'm not playing the full 4 copies of Knight and I'm playing 0 copies of Reclaimer. But it is a really great card and I think is probably a staple now in Green-White Depths. I think because these have extra value in Dryad Arbor, especially with Sheltered by Ghosts, that we're just going to lead on Bayou, and then I don't want my opponent getting to a stage where they can use a Safekeeper, even next turn with Flagstones. And Swords is just a little bit better in that it can kill a 6/6 knight. And there's the Flagstones. That's exactly why we go after the... Ooh, okay. Well, I think here we're just going to play a Scrubland into Bowmaster and pass. I could wait one turn, like if they have the swords, but... Pretty happy to make them have to have swords here, or some removal spell for the Bowmaster if they want to keep extra cards. This is so nice as well, because if they use a sword on the Bowmaster to use the library, we then have the Sheltered by Ghosts on the token. So being able to have two creatures in play, one they probably want to get rid of before, you know, library activates. Just really nice play between Bowmaster and Sheltered by Ghosts. Going for a Reclaimer. So we do want to Thoughtseize first here. Nice. Funnily enough, I was going to say we Thoughtseize first because of Force of Vigor. If we Sheltered by Ghosts, like I guess it doesn't really matter because the Dryad Arbor is a green card and you know, they can still do it. But one thing to think about in this matchup, because of Force of Vigor, is that going into attacks, if you attack with something, they can then Force of Vigor the Sheltered, get back the creature, and then block with it. Let's go for Savannah. There was a thought of putting the Sheltered on the token because they probably want to deal with the Orc more than the token. Oh, I do have to think about Dryad Arbor as well, so I will only attack with the Orc. Ah, but it's in hand. Mistake. Sorry. Sorry, team. We even just saw it. But you can get a sense of things you got to look out for when you're playing a deck like this. Like misreads. Okay, that's fair. So what happened there is they drew swords for turn, library triggered. Before the library trigger resolves, they fetched, paid 3 for swords, and now they can Sylvan Library. I would expect them to pay pretty heavy here. Yeah. All right, so we know about a stage. No, I'm pretty happy to get this library off the field. They have drawn from it, but we don't really want them getting any extra off it. And I want to keep this Windswept full Lush. And the Orc being in the play means that Green Sun's into Grist is pretty nice. Hey, Granham, welcome. Hope you're doing well. There's the stage. We're just going to pass here. They could use a stage on the plains to make it unwastelandable. They're going to crop. Okay. Will they go for it? They do have a spare as well in the Dryad Arbor. We can try. GG's. Oh, no. Okay. Okay, not too bad. All right, let's see what's coming. Lush, Green Suns, Wasteland. Probably not where I'm at. Really want to find a Green Suns. I think Grist here is best. Just because of the value it provides. Even if they have endurance, we have 2 blockers for Dryad Arbor and the endurance. Definitely a few heart of the cards on the channel, which is always nice. The deck tends to be quite kind. Oh man, a Talon. Put it into play, and then I think we just use the swords here just to get rid of it. I really hope they don't have a second library. A lot of lists have moved towards second library. I really like an attack here with the Arbor as well, because either I lose my creature on the field or Grist goes down to 1 and I can't just trade the Grist away for a real threat. Oof. Do I want to Grist first? I probably do, just to get a little bit deeper. There goes an endurance. Ooh, I think it's probably the Scavenging Ooze. And then we will tap our mana correctly. And pass back. We will eat probably Safekeeper just so it can't come back through like endurance their own thing. We will search. All right, 2 cards for them. No depths in this list, no. Very fair. I didn't have too much space for the depths part. Oof. Tick up. There goes a Safekeeper. I think we just go for a Knight. Oh, we could also go for Renegade Rallier, get back. Wasteland. I don't mind that. Oh, no. I thought something went to the bin. That's all good. That's all good. A good mistake to make because I won't do it again. Tough. Yeah. We can't do anything here. I think, yeah, maybe I should have thought about, like, what do we lose to? It's that. And it's a case of holding back. Tough. Some valuable lessons, though, for sure. I think as well, going back to game 1, that you know, just take out what's in play. Take out the Dark Depths while they're there. Exactly, live and learn. Sadly, a Wasteland hand, so we will put this back. Okay, pretty happy to keep this and probably just bottom the plains. Yeah, they could be running, I think because I felt like I had more ways to deal with Marit Lage than Safekeeper potentially. But going after the combo also makes a lot of sense. Just have to know which piece. There's a fair bit of combo, a lot of like Grim Monolith combo that I like Teeg against. Cradle Control just won the challenge, or the showcase. It came in 2nd place, I believe. I honestly don't mind Scythe here, but I kind of want to hold up the Bowmaster. Yeah, the One Ring. Obviously here, like if they're playing Wrath of the Skies. Have a good think. Because you could also go for Fatigue, but I kind of want to do it with Protection in some ways. Yeah, Kolaghan's Command is a big one. Kolaghan's Command can deal with Collector Ouphe, but it can't deal with Teeg, which is nice. Honestly, pretty happy just to attack for 1 and then hold up Bowmaster. Because I don't expect a daze out of this list, but you never know. Correct. Kozilek's command. Culligan's command, sadly, just hasn't really lived up to expectations. So in response, we will cast Bowmaster. Force is fine. Opponent probably having a read here. Play a land, trigger. Fetch. I'll get the forest, trigger. Ignobled. That's pretty nice. I'm happy to try to get Grist into play and deal with the Teferi. Force. Okay. Happy to try to find a attack here with Dryad Arbor. Okay. A bit of a win. But something like a 4th or a Lingus here would be pretty brutal. Teferi bouncing the library is a pretty good play as well. Yeah. Could try to play it out, but like Teferi bounce, there's a few too many things they can do. I do like the Thought Seizers, Collector Ouphe, probably some number of swords. Spirit Guides. Dismember, definitely not. Yes, thank you. All right. Look, it is a turn 1 Thalia, which is pretty funny. I don't think we have too much game here, like especially on a 6. It kind of has to be probably exactly like Thoughtseize into Sylvan Library. All right. A solid Ouphe hand, correct. Go for Scrubland, that gives us all our colors. Do it for science, exactly. Okay. Nice. Would love to see a dual land here. No. Oh my gosh. It even blocks. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. Oh no. Maybe I think I'm actually supposed to just... Okay, they missed a land drop. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I guess it's happening. Do you know what's crazy about these 3 creatures are hardly doing anything to the Tamiyo? They're not even going to kill it next turn. Oh my gosh, they're going to... Oh my gosh. They're going to force it. They're going to force it. Ah! What is happening? Okay. That's better. Hi, Boyd. I don't want to play the Wasteland because I want them to fetch a non-basic. All right. Still worth casting. All right. That's something. Okay. Let's fetch for Lush. Have a look at the top. Not great. Just give me something. Come on. Okay. Okay. Let's go Wasteland. Green Suns for Grist. We get to attack them with both. And then we get to sack this and get rid of the Tamiyo. Okay. Okay. right. The nice thing is that they don't have 2 white for Wrath just yet. Okay, that's a good pick. Okay. I will just get this down on the ground so we can start getting in some beats. That's good in case they have another Wrath. But I do need them to stumble somewhat. Oh, they got rid of the Thalia. Perfect. Take out this. Play this. Attack. Oh, don't. In response, we want to swords this. Is there a way to deal extra damage here? No. I think we just hold the Green Suns. There's nothing great to grab. I guess there is Teeg. Oh, there's Teeg. Wow. Teeg stopping Wrath is huge. Oh my gosh. Oh. That is pure comedy. I think we're just running this back. Okay. Probably want to use these Green Suns on mana. Science confirmed, correct. I kind of hope with where we're at that this Dryad Arbor gets a Prismatic End, Swords Plowshares or a Galvanic Blast. Galvanic Punch? Galvanic Blast is the 4 damage. Okay. That is a land we can Wasteland, which is nice. The question is, I probably just want to play the Bowmaster right now, so they can't brainstorm in response. Galvanic Discharge, thank you. Fair. Tough spot because I do need white mana, but I don't really want to build out towards a Noble Hierarch because of Wrath. Although it would deal with the Tameo as well, which isn't the worst trade. It would be a 2 for 2. I wonder if they just draw a card now. No, they're going to go after the white source. Okay. Oof. All right. Like, Stern Scolding is annoying, but I believe there's no point attacking either. Oof. Blood Moon. Okay. And we're not dead. And we can use a Spirit Guide if we really need to on the Blage. Oof. Okay. Oh, come on. Nothing I can do, yeah. At least we got that cool game too. Tough. Damn. Yeah, that match was pretty sweet. Yeah, maybe the mana in the opening hand just wasn't... For a match that you want to go long, it is pretty key to have... Just really tough against Jessica to have Teeg in your opening, but not being able to cast it. Alright, here we go. Lands. Thanks, Sora. Appreciate it. But yeah, definitely had some cool screenshot moments tonight, but sadly the deck just not coming together. This is okay. I don't mind this on the draw. I take it back. Ooh. Can we draw the Ouphe? No. I think here it's worth just holding up the Bowmaster. And then we have Sheltered by Ghosts next turn. I didn't want to jam the Liberator because I feel like the ring's fine. They draw a card in response. Go for Bayou. Exile Bowmaster. They have Force. Okay. Damn, so they get to... Oh, please. Oh my gosh. Don't draw into another force. Come on. Come on. Just once. Just once. Just once. What is this? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah. 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 Oh my gosh. Come on now. This is just not even... Land? No. Okay. At least if they don't cast anything, then the Liberator does flip. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Well, we have the Force of Vigors, we have the Thought Seizers, we have the Deafening Silences. Endurance. What isn't great? Ooze, Cub, Library. I like the onces. The onces are sweet. It could be Grist. I like the Bowmasters because we did also see the it could be some number of swords, but they're probably playing Flesh Raker, so I do want to have swords. Maybe it is the onces. Yeah. I mean, we're bringing in Force, Thoughtseize, Deafening Silence, cards we want to have in the opening but can't dig for. This has really been a Heart of the Cards stream, 100%. No. Pretty bad, but it does have double force. Keep bottomless swords. Like, it really needs mana, of course. Please play key. Grindstone, okay. Mox. Okay. I think we're doing something now. I could also go back to their turn. Yeah, I think I'll draw to see if I can Thoughtseize them. Nice. Emery, we have the sword. Mox is just a double up. I think we take the sink. I guess we don't have a white source just yet. And in that case, we can force these two pitching the Arbor, because then we can just play the Noble next turn. That's what Thoughts is really nice, because we get to know what we need to take. much. There is a just in case moment. No, because they can't play a 4-drop next turn because they need that online. So we get to play Noble here. Key's fine. Will Thoughtseize. Can we get something good? Kappa. Yes, we can. And then I'll attack. I could hold it back to hold up the sword. Maybe that's correct. Means if we draw into a 2-drop off the top, we can do that. I don't think I need to do anything with this force just yet. I was going to say, oh, we can hold up 3 mana and Spirit Guide to force, but then force pitch Spirit Guide is exactly the same thing, but 3 less mana. I'm going to hold up Hardcast Force and also Lush. Pedal turns on the Mox, but they have a backup. I think... we still force these two. And honestly, just because we need something going, I think we get rid of the Spirit Guide to do it so we can Lush still. There's the Mox. But then... Okay. Lanterns of the Graveyard, Green Suns on top. Probably gonna Green Suns for Teeg if it comes up. I think Teeg is a little bit better than Collector Ouphe for this stage. Another Windswept. Does get us Dryad Arbor. Obviously a lot of interaction for me so far, but I really need a good clock to do anything. Double Ring, Seat Grim. I don't want a Swords just yet, because if we draw Karakas, that's just a really nice, easy way to get rid of it. I didn't need to fetch there, and actually Cub is a reason not to fetch unless we took out Cub. Wasteland's pretty nice. That's probably going to be for Saga though. And I'd rather than play the Saga, so I'm going to hold the Wasteland. Opponent's saying they play Stock Up, and they wish they ran into Stock Up, but obviously Stock Up is a pretty sweet card. Okay, that's nice. That does slow things down a bit. If they have Force of Will, they could force that, but they take a bunch of damage off the Ancient Tombs. Because they can't use the Mox just yet. This Noble's just been getting in slowly. Okay. There's a Saga, but thankfully we do have this Wasteland waiting. Opponent probably sick of me having answers and just having a really slow clock. Opponent, yeah. Very funny. I'm not going to play the Wooded Foothills. I think we took the Cub out. Yeah, there it is. Scythecat Cub. My gosh. If opponent pauses, that's not a good thing. Oh. 4. I guess a reason to play the land is so we can attack, but also hit Kappa Cannoneer with the sword. Yeah. That's our last land. Wow. And we're back at it with the Noble. That is pretty hilarious. Can you imagine if our opponent played Urza's Saga this turn and we just forced it in our turn? The disdain. Ooh, 1 minute. This might be Emery. Thoughtcast, okay. I can't cast any more non-creature spells. Oh my gosh. I think it's worth playing that. Attack and hold up force. This is riveting. This is actually a lot more fun than it looks. I should actually 5. I haven't hit a threat yet. It is turn 13 and we haven't actually hit a threat. That is actually crazy. Yeah, opponent pretty unlucky with the One Rings double. We're just going back. Oh my gosh. That is a great answer for Emery, so I'm going to allow them to cast Emery if they find one. This is insane. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be Spirit Guide Beats, isn't it? Can you imagine if we get a second Force of Will on a Spirit Guide this league? That can't happen. That just can't happen. Oh my gosh. I didn't even want to cast it. I think the best play here is going for Teeg. Hey, thanks, Zach. A huge thank you. Hope you're doing well. They will need to either use the tomb or crack the pedal here, which I'm not too unhappy about. Ben, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Have a great day at work. Ah, there we go. All right. Well, thank you as always. Hope you have a great day. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's something. All right. There's a saga. I think I want to deal with that now. Oh my gosh. Oh no. Get those beats in. Needle. Okay, probably naming Wasteland. Karakas. Ooh. Interesting. Could Bowmasters get there? Like if they cast a Thoughtcast or something, then they can't respond because of the deafening. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh. That's it. That's it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. One of the weirdest games I have ever played. We are on the board. We earned that one, surely. Wow. All right, we're on the play. Okay. I don't feel too unhappy about this hand. Opponent goes to 6 cards. pretty happy to go for Ignobled here. Fetch up a Savannah and then just have all colors online. Okay. Most likely another Jeskai deck. I probably don't mind just playing the Liberator holding up Lush. I'd feel a little bit awkward. I don't want to run into Daze either, so I'm just going to get the Lush. Put a land in the bin. Oh, I'll keep that. Wasteland as well would be kind of cool. Of course, we can't do both, but yeah, it's cool to see breakfast. So let's play a land for turn. Attack for 3. And then pass flipping the Liberator. Okay. So now we get to Grist. And I'm probably pretty happy here getting rid of Dryad Arbor over anything else. Just don't hit Karakas. Oh, interesting. Sorcery, instant, land, creature. So they do have this online. Oh, but we have the Scavenging Ooze. Okay. Tick up first. There goes a Green Suns. I will fetch now, just to have that line open. This does target, but I'm still pretty happy just to get rid of the Nadu right now. They're going to swords. Get rid of force. Get rid of Misty. Yeah, keeping a mana open might have been worth it. That's very true. I think here it's just endurance. Let's have a quick look. Oh, I could also Green Suns for Renegade Rallier. No, but the Ooze has been exiled. There's no Wasteland either. I think it is just endurance to get rid of that Knight to Wasteland, yeah. Instant sorcery. If they have a land, then they get to Nadu, and they have a Brainstorm coming, so I kind of want to be able to just get rid of that right now. They might even try to Brainstorm here into Force blue card. Yeah, I think it is endurance. Okay. That's fine. It's a force and one card on top. So they brainstorm locked, which is nice. No cards in hand. So now we get to attack with both, which are both lethal, so they have to double block. And now they're only drawing one card off the top. Nice. Okay. Dismember for sure. Probably Thoughtseize. Containment Priest is pretty interesting because it also hits, like I think it hits enough of their stuff. The Collector Ouphe can come out. I like the Liberator. Spirit Guides can probably come down. Endurances are nice, Knights are nice, Library's nice. Thalia is probably not where she wants to be. Maybe that's it. Yeah, okay. We'll try this out. Pretty lucky that their Brainstorm was just a bit of a dead end. They didn't have a shuffle effect. Pretty great hand. We get to go turn 1 Dryad Arbor. Off a Bayou, and the following turn Containment Priest Thoughtseize. Unless we draw, yeah. I still like getting ahead here. Bayou. Green Suns. think I like starting with Thoughtseize here. Okay. So they do have Nadu. They do have the Prismatic Ending as well to deal with the Sylvan Library. So they have a pretty good fair plan here. I want to take the Nadu, as it's just the most egregious card. And then I probably want to cast a spell this turn. I kind of want to... I really want them to use the Prismatic Ending, so maybe I want to go for a Sylvan Safekeeper this turn. I think that would draw out the Prismatic Ending. I'm not too sure if mana by itself would. Yeah. They're not too sure what I'm on either, so... Interesting, they play the Misty over the island. Probably to try to get the Keen-Eyed online ASAP. Really want to draw out this Prismatic Ending. I'm probably thinking about it because as the game progresses, as I play land drops, it's only going to get easier for me to throw lands away, but it looks like they're not going to care about it, which is fair. I will play... I will play Lush, see what's on top. Spirit Guide can go in the graveyard. And then I think... kind of forced into playing the library now. They get to grow the Keen-Eyed. We need to dig for removal. And it can become a big creature pretty quick. Yeah. Here's Prismatic, sure. No great blocks. Interesting. Keen to see what they do on their end step. Do they fetch? They do. In response to the fetch, let's get rid of their graveyard. I shouldn't have attacked with the Dryad Arbor. I should have held up the Containment Priest. I just didn't count my mana, which I should have. Okay, no, Green Suns is pretty great for us. Another land isn't great. We know about the Endurance as well. Haha. Our Containment Priest did something. But that is a sorcery. No, it doesn't matter because it does get shuffled, and of course they already have a sorcery. They play a Dryad Arbor, but it gets exiled. That is pretty funny. There's no great attacks for them. So yeah, it might just be a pass. And I will keep the fetch lands because of the Cub. But I get hit by it pretty bad. No point playing these lands either. Might as well be unknown cards. I think they have a lot more power as unknown. Yeah, it's kind of just a standstill here. There it is. Wow. What do we want to grow? I'm going to start by growing the Endurance. And then let's fetch now to double it. Okay. I think we only have one land left in the deck, so we can't double on out on their turn. We have to do it on our turn. Grist is pretty sweet. Make this a 3/3. Fetch. Oh, there is another one. Okay. A little bit risky, but I don't mind attacking them this turn for 7. This can become a 7/7, 8/8, so I do need to block pretty aggressively. But I think just putting them in a position where like I can close out the game pretty quickly. Oh, they have the Endurance as well. Oh, but they didn't double block. That's fine. Ah, but that's a creature, of course, sorry. The Nadu doesn't grow it, which is quite nice. For now. They're attacking Grist with both. I think we just let Grist die. Yeah. Grist, 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 Grist. Yeah, okay. We can grow the priest still. Yeah, maybe there's a block there on the endurance, to be fair. Yeah, that's very true. That was pretty much a free attack. Oh, the Dryad. Oh, but the Dryad Arbor gets... Oh, no. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. Hit the Grist, that's fine. That becomes a big boy. Now, if they tap out before they attack, we do have Safekeeper sack everything to make the knight big. I think potentially our best bet is trying to swing back for lethal with a big knight and the endurance. So just blocking. We take 3, so we're at 3, so we can't take 3 tramples. We have to double block. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 5, 5. I think we just have to hope to rip Orcish Bowmaster off the top. But even then, it's pretty rough. Okay. We get to see more of the deck, which is kind of cool. Maybe they're playing like natural order, that might give some somewhat. Thoughts on what a Maverick list for Canadian Euro Highlander might look like nowadays? Pretty strong, I think. Like in terms of like the card pool, especially for like Abzan or even Bant, if you do want to play like a Nomad Nadu style list, is pretty cool. I would probably say within the Maverick list, you want to have some sort of combo. So that could be Dark Depths, could be Natural Order, it could be Nadu, but you also obviously want to have ways to have a bit more control over over like the early turns. But North 100 is a pretty sweet source for Canadian Highlander content, which I'm sure you're aware of. There are some sweet lists on Moxfield as well. If you sort, when you go to check out decks, you can also look at like the collections. And then sort by Highlander as a format, and then look at Abzan or Maverick style lists. But yeah, I do like Highlander. Shout out to Raj in South Australia, who plays a really cool birthing ritual Abzan deck in Highlander, which is pretty much hate bears with a bunch of ways to make those hate bears into other things. So opponent is on what looks to be just like a classic Bant, which I don't think changes anything here. I'm pretty happy just to run it back. Thalia on the draw is definitely interesting. Sorry, on the play, but I think I'd rather just have Thoughtseize. All right, let's finish strong. This has a Dryad Arbor, which is a little bit rough. And it's kind of rough because like we can't Green Suns turn 1, which means we can't Containment Priest turn 2. I think we mulligan this. Okay, this is better. Happy to keep this. Probably bottom the Lush. Quick think. Yeah. Bayou. This is probably a matchup where I actually miss having Ramanap. We really want to go after their mana. That's a great way to do it. Interesting. Because I want a Swords or Containment Priest next turn, I want to hold this. They're definitely playing a creature next turn. Like I don't see a world where they don't. So I don't get the Lush Portico out of that if I want to use either of these. Here I'm pretty happy to go after their mana. If they fetch end step, I will still play the Priest. Because it does stop Dryad Arbor if they're trying to get towards Dryad Arbor. Alright, we go for Lush. Graveyard. Not where we want to be. Oh. Well, they must have removal. Yeah. Yeah, tough. Tough. Definitely not where I wanted to be. That's a 1/4, which is pretty brutal. But the deck itself just felt like it didn't have the tools, but of course you don't have the luxury of Brainstorm Ponder, so you can't find them when you need to outside of Green Suns. But yeah, it was interesting because I wouldn't say there were many hands where Spirit Guide was a reason to mulligan, but maybe it's a consideration of having the 4 extra green sources in the mana base, like with 22 lands. I thought 22 was pretty good. We didn't get too caught up on mana. If anything, like extra removal, I think, yeah, like obviously the sideboard is 4 combo. It's not really for creature matchups, and we played a few creature matchups, which is just part of the process. Sheltered by Ghosts, when it worked, it worked. But yeah, some good food for thought. I hope you all enjoyed this. It is nearly midnight, so I need to go to bed. A big thank you to the new followers and the new subscribers. I'm going to quickly see who else is playing and send you over there. It looks like Gabe is playing some standard, which obviously isn't Legacy, but I always like sending people over to Gabe. Read. To those on YouTube, if you're still seeing this, a huge thank you. Reach out to me if you're seeing this on YouTube. I'll send you something. Cheers.